We're on adventure.
We're on venture.
Okay, this is the border.
Sheriff in Texas answers to no one but the people.
There used to be a crossing here.
This is the worst we've ever seen. Oh, that's a good one. You're gonna drive, follow me.
What's the price these days to get over the border?
They took off and left him. They left him to die.
I hold nothing against the migrants that come here for a better life. I would do the same thing.
Cartel has so much money.
A nice place.
Instead of chasing, we're catching.
Sheriff, if I went across the other side, you wouldn't let me back.
Should not stay there. This country right now has a thirst for cheap labor. That checkpoint's closed. When people were talking about building a wall, I caught a lot of criticism, but people haven't been here. There's blood in there, but there's no bones. But you can see a drag.
What an interesting part of the country.
It means something to somebody. It's not all about flying helicopters and getting great stories. It's about what's really happening on the ground.
Here we are, Alpine, Texas, roughly an hour and a half from the Mexican border. And over the last year and a half, there's been a huge increase in migrants coming over the border into Texas and the rest of the country. Now, it's been very difficult to get access. I did a series last year on it. And this video, we're meeting up with a sheriff, which is next to impossible to get on camera. Over the last 2 years, I've tried very many times to get law enforcement on camera. It's just not possible. Managed to get one guy in 2 years. So today we have the unique privilege of meeting up with Sheriff Dawson, who's going to give us his inside perspective on the situation. Sheriff Dawson.
Hang on a second.
Can I get a picture with you?
Yeah, let's do it. This is your assistant?
No, she is my trainee. All right, good deal.
Camera on a camera. This is where we're
getting.
getting. Fantastic. There we go. Brewster County. Guys, this is gonna be exciting. All right. You know, it's very hard these days to get any law enforcement on camera.
Well, and you can imagine
Most
why.
of the country. Most of the country.
Well, if you can see why, though. Can't
Yeah.
you? I mean, everybody's after them. As sheriff, I believe I'm the people's cop. So my job is for the people. I don't answer to anybody but the people. If I'm not doing my job, the people get rid of me. So sometimes my job requires, causes me to, to step in where I see maybe something's not right in law enforcement, because that's what our job is versus other people who answer to city councils and answer to, boards or answer to, an elected sheriff in Texas answers to no one but the people. That's it. We don't have a boss. If they don't like you, they get rid of you in 4 years.
This is a checkpoint, yeah?
Yeah, this is the 118 checkpoint.
You said it's closed?
Yeah, it's closed.
Why?
Not enough men to man it today. So they'll close it. See those cones that you can tell when it's closed because you don't usually avert you into the checkpoint to do your stuff. But
So don't the traffickers know when it's open and closed?
They do know. Well, that's because they have scouts, and that's usually these traffickers have two vehicles: a scout vehicle and what their load vehicles are.
Can we cross?
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, they'll come through when the Border Patrol can't. They know they're watching it right now. This is where we need. Manpower is at our checkpoints.
Okay.
And our checkpoints can't man it. We don't have it, and nobody's applying, or if they're applying, they're not getting men here fast enough to do it.
Okay, so Mexico's how far from here?
Oh, we still got about 74 miles.
Are we gonna go close?
Oh yeah, we're going there.
Oh, we're going.
Yeah.
Okay. We're on adventure.
We're on venture. You want to go to see the river, but yeah, this is where they'll drop them. They'll drop them further back around Elephant Mountain.
They'll drop them. You mean like they'll be coming
They'll
on
unload
in a
them.
car?
Unload them. Yeah, and they'll unload them way back there at Elephant Mountain, and then they'll make their way either around this checkpoint to Alpine or on to Marathon.
So let me get this straight. Elephant Mountain's in the U.S.
Yes.
So what do you mean they drop them there?
They'll pick them up at the border.
Okay,
They'll
on the
carry
U.S.
them
side.
On the U.S. side, and drop them, and then the car will come through the checkpoint. The checkpoint clears them as U.S. citizens or whatever. They go on, and they know they got pickup places for them.
Okay, so this is a heavy traffic area on foot out in this desert.
Yes. On both sides, really.
Okay.
But what happens though, sometimes the coyote brings them, he abandons them, and they get lost and migrate into some of these ranches and stuff like that. But the ones that get led, they know exactly where to go. They know where to get water. They know where houses are open to get food in. So they're not. It's pretty organized. This country right now has a thirst for cheap labor and also for the narcotics that come across this border. If we didn't have it, if we didn't have jobs for them, if we didn't have the people wanting to buy the drugs, maybe we wouldn't have about a problem. You can take this all the way back to Prohibition when they were smuggling whiskey across this border, cigarettes.
Right.
They were doing that in the 30s, 20s and 30s for the same reason. It's because we wanted them. I can tell you a lot of the marijuana that we get that is sent back through the mail, that our post offices catch, that we catch in the post, or we know is coming back, comes from up north, where they're making a more quality, marijuana or whatever they're making. Because a lot of this weed coming up is just trash weed. It's cheap and
break weed.
Yeah, and then I think a lot of what happens with this weed, it's a decoy to keep us busy while more dangerous drugs are coming through.
Okay.
Their intel is as good as the best Army or Border Patrol intel there is.
The cartels.
Yes. You got to remember, across our border here, there are villages and stuff, and the cartel has so much money. They help these people.
Yeah.
They help the village people.
Sure.
They take their kids to the dentist. They take their kids to the doctor. They build loyalty with their service. They're a criminal organization, but they're building loyalty, and all they ask is, hey, when you see something, let us know. When you hear something, let us know.
Right.
And it's all information. I found a guy in this brush line right here. He was in there hidden, and I didn't see him. And on the way back, there was two ladies, and they'd stopped. He'd raised his hand, and they were driving slow enough that they actually saw him. And I got out, and because I thought they were trying to climb this fence, it's private property. And it turns out they had a man there, and they'd given him a couple of bottles of water, and his leg was shattered. It was pretty cold, and he was dirty. And I drug him under the fence, got him on the side, called an ambulance, and the ladies left. Me and him had a great conversation. I asked him how many people were with him. He said there were 12 or 13, but he fell off a bluff over here on the side and broke his leg. And his friend said, we'll help you out. We'll carry your backpack for you and your stuff. And they took off and left him. Took his water and his food. They left him to die.
Wow.
So he ended up, we got him here, and anyway, we ended up getting him to the hospital. And when we talked to him about, I'd say, your amigos, and he finally told me, spoke enough English. He'd been in the country here before. He said, don't you say that, they're not my amigos anymore. He used some bad words, by the way, when he told him, but he was pretty upset.
So you've saved some of these guys, other than that one?
Oh, yeah.
Over the years?
Yeah, bunches of them. And to be honest with you, a lot of the people we catch are what we call give-ups. We're driving along the road, and they've got their arms waving us down. It's not like we're some kind of superheroes chasing them. They're looking for help. These poor people don't fear us at all. They're all real happy you saved a life until you drive into the Border Patrol station. And they'd say, immigration? Yeah. He said, no, take me home. I can't take you home. They got to go there.
It's not like the cartels care about how
They don't care.
end of their journey works.
They have no heart for any of these people. And they just take their money, and some of them still over on the other side of the county still have to deal with Zetas. And the Zetas have checkpoints, and some of them get their whatever money they got left, or any possession they got left, the Zetas steal it from them and beat them up and steal it from them. And God forbid that some of these long journeys that you're a single or you're one female with 11 or 12 guys in a group, It's not.
The Zetas control this territory in the
They're on the other side of the county here. We hear less and less about them. They're still the muscle for the cartel. They're just put in that category of the cartel, but they still exist.
Across the boat town.
So I'll tell them 15 minutes. Homeland Security apparently has made a stop, and I have deputies that are sitting on another car's coming with more bodies than what they've got. They've only got a couple of bodies. There could be a possibility that the group that's caught right now was just the decoy. They know that the deputies are going to come, have to take it, work it, and then a big load comes on through. And like I say, that checkpoint's closed. Word's got out. They're going to be trying to move stuff. 100 degrees right now outside, so it's pretty rough. So a lot of stuff during the day tends to not move. It's later in the evening when it cools off that we start seeing more activity.
These are Airbnbs, these? Do you know how much they go for a night?
I really don't. I know that some with pools go for $300 or $400.
So is there a divide between the locals that have been here forever and then you got new people coming
Yes.
in maybe? There's friction there.
Well, there's a divide. They don't physically get out and fight, but you see them talk a bunch of trash about each other.
Okay. That's a nice one.
10 minutes ago, he came from the west side, and now he's northbound, out of state plate.
Oh, that's a good one. They're gonna give me the. You might stay back behind the truck here for a bit until they.
Stay behind the truck?
Okay. He's northbound, you said? Yeah, that's it.
Okay, it looks like they've got some guys here in the trucks. This was the vehicle, it looks like. Hi guys. Good. Sheriff, what do we got here?
What we're gonna do is, come on. Can you drive? You got a driver's license?
Yeah, of course.
You're gonna drive. Follow me.
I'm following you in
You're
this.
gonna drive. We're gonna follow me. Where we're gonna go. Get in.
That's legal.
We're gonna go.
All right.
We're going back this way.
Okay, so what was the story with those guys?
Apparently they caught them. They've been setting up on them or something. They caught them. From what it looks like is HSIs. They've been detailed. They're from up north. They've been detailed down here to the river, I guess, to aid and help Border Patrol. Like we say, they're in a bind, so they need the help.
So there is more assistance these days down here.
Well, this is the first I've seen them.
So who's determining that? The state
No.
or county? It's a county thing.
It's the federal government.
Oh.
They're the ones that have the authority over the border, not us. The driver was a migrant. We charge him with a felony smuggling.
So do they go to prison here?
They'll go to jail here and then convicted somewhere down the line. I mean, we got so many, it's going to be years before they get.
So they're going to U.S. jails. They're not being sent back.
The smugglers aren't. These 3 individuals will be sent back.
But the smugglers, no.
No.
Even though they're illegal.
Right. No, because he's going to jail. He committed a crime. The guys riding, they've committed a civil crime, which Border Patrol can enforce. I can't enforce that. I can enforce that smuggler because it's there's a state law.
Oh, interesting. So it's pretty complex.
Well, really, if you think about it, it's not. I mean, yeah, of who gets who. That's what we call it. I know that if we catch a smuggler and we call the Border Patrol to come get the illegals, they'll say, which one's mine? And we want that one, that one's yours, you know, and then we keep the one that we actually have authority over.
That's U.S. taxpayer money to put them in jail, obviously.
Oh yeah, it does cost. It costs us very much. But you know, I don't feel so bad when it's a felony putting somebody in jail. Now this trespassing thing, you put them in jail, they're gonna spend 24 hours. They can't make bond. Our judges end up letting them out, and then our prosecutors don't want to mess. They're overloaded with other cases. They don't want to mess with these misdemeanor trespassing cases. So it just becomes a time thing, you know. And we don't do it in our county.
Okay.
We don't put people in for trespassing unless they're legitimately trespassing. You know, jumping a fence, taking a man's cactus, or doing stuff like that. But you know, we catch a group of 80. My jail holds 54. I've got 53 in there. You know, if I have to send them someplace to another jail at $65 a day or $100 a day,
Yeah.
who's that going to save, you know?
And so, meanwhile, these Airbnbs are right here, and this is happening right down the road, and I bet most of them don't even know, right?
No, they don't. It doesn't bother them, doesn't faze them. Yeah, so,
It's like different worlds on top of each other here.
it is.
What's the price these days to get over the border? Do you know?
We hear all kinds of things. Some will tell us 5,000. Some will tell us 10,000. Some will say it's $500. It just depends. I don't know that we ever get a real story. I always ask them, you raise $5,000 wherever you come from. That's pretty good change, you know. I don't carry $5,000 with me to go, but I think that they've promised to do things for maybe the cartel or something like that. But and I'm sure there are ones that have paid. And you know what's funny is a lot of times the groups are always the same amount, you know, within 13 or 8, kind of the walk-in groups. Now there are big groups of 100, 150, but you know, during when they were having a lot of the family units come, they would pull up to the park in the river, and the coyote would tell them, when you get across the river, dial 911. And we'd send vans because family units are treated different than these just male units coming across.
So when I saw that happening last year in South Texas, I was told some kids are even like sold or rented.
Yes, that
Because
yeah, they were,
because they're not doing DNA checks to see if the kid
it
is.
really belongs to you.
Yeah.
We saw some of that where they would just use a kid, and the kid would say, "That's not my dad," you know.
Hedis General Store. So we're close now, right?
Yeah, we're just out there.
Right there.
Yeah. How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm good.
You know everyone out here, huh? Sure.
Most of them. What's y'all doing?
We're going home.
Home for the day?
Yeah, for me. Oh,
Hello.
that one? New York. New York.
I just met a bunch of guys from New York.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. All those HSI agents, then they're all from New York. And I said, well, I couldn't talk to them. I have to talk to somebody from Texas because I couldn't understand them.
Yeah.
The agents are from New York?
Yeah, those agents.
Because that was a lot of force for just one car, wasn't it? A lot of people?
Well, in the eyes of the federal government, it was about right.
Okay.
And if it was here, it'd probably be just him or him.
Just 2 of you.
No, usually one.
Usually just one.
Just one on a car like that?
Oh, yeah.
That seems quite dangerous, yeah?
We just don't have enough, there's not enough people.
And if
Okay.
he normally catches them all the time right here.
Okay.
And I'm coming from you saw the Terlingua Ranch, right?
Yep.
Well, that's my normal area. So if he stops one, I may have to run all the way from there to here to help him, because I have to come take. I take custody of whoever he arrests, like the driver.
Okay.
I'll take custody of him.
So how, maybe scary is the wrong word, but how scary is that to come up on a bunch of guys, just yourself? It's like, you got to be on your toes, right?
Well, I mean, most of the people are armed nowadays, so
Most of them are armed.
I got some armed ones, you know, so it's a common practice now.
Are they all cooperating with you, or it depends?
It depends.
They run. You got a lot of runners. Once they bail out of the car and they take off running, and you got one guy and he can't catch 10, you know. He catches some give-ups or people that just don't want to, or
Yeah.
you know, but usually he's looking for the driver. When people were talking about building a wall, and I would say, well, we're not really for a wall here. No, I caught a lot of criticism, but people haven't been here. You can't rope off our river just to give it to Mexico. Wall, everywhere I've been, is built back into the United States.
Oh, yeah.
You see, so that puts us, we're a big tourist. You know, we got Big Bend National Park. What are you going to do? Build a wall so far back in that nobody can you access the river anymore? Or,
Good point. Good point.
And then
yeah,
some
I
of-
never thought of that.
Some of our places are big wall canyons that need a wall. But if you did that, then all these businesses you saw that down around here that were the river rafting companies and stuff, they're gone.
So the wall is really depends where you're at. Because
Yes,
in South Texas,
they could use a wall if they want one. Yeah.
they're big fan. A lot of people are big fans of it. I could see how it helped them with the technology on the wall,
Right.
especially.
So here,
But here, that's interesting.
here would
point.
it would devastate our county.
This is the Rio Grande right here.
See how the river's growing right in there?
Oh, is
We're
that
growing up.
that little trickle?
Yeah, that's the river.
So this is all Mexico.
That's all Mexico here.
So to come to the States, you pretty much just take a few steps
And there's
over.
places over here where it's trails, you know.
That's almost unbelievable. Mexico, USA. Can we go down there?
Yeah, we'll drive over here and go down there to the water. We can't, let's drive down there.
Okay. This is your buddy's house.
Yeah.
Here we go. It's just a pond. It's a pond now. So you were saying when you were young, you used to dive off here?
Right over here, jump right off in that water. See these
Dive
ledges?
off this
These
this
ledges
ledge?
right here?
Okay, and it was deep enough.
Yeah, but I mean, this is seasonal. We're in a drought. We're in a bad, bad drought.
Oh, nice place. So people are just coming here for vacation.
Yeah. Got the air conditioner on.
It's okay to go in.
He's probably expecting some guests.
So this is a for rent Airbnb. Very nice place, quality. I'll get the link from you.
Okay.
I'll put it in the description, guys. You want to stay in a very unique place in this world, in Texas, with Mexico out your front door. This is the place. Wow, what an interesting part of the country.
They all got together here and they crossed back and forth and ate each other's barbecue and stuff like that.
There used to be a festival
It
here.
was, they may have it again this year, but COVID's messed it up, you know, so.
Oh, so everyone just hangs out together.
Yeah, they get in the water and water's here and they all play and splash. The people from that side and this side all meet here.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
So what's the
and
law?
there's family. So there's families
Okay.
that live here that have family that live there. I mean, they can't help it. They're just right there. So
So do you think any of them, like at night, cross over to see their family and cross back?
there are people that do, but nobody really cares because they come, they go, they come.
Okay.
They're not coming and staying.
Gotcha.
I actually believe there are people that still work on this side that cross back over. There's another crossing way down there. We can go to this
Okay.
crossing's all walk here.
Oh, we can walk the crossing?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but you can't walk into Mexico. You can walk in, you just can't come back.
Can't come back. So, Sheriff, if I went across the other side, you wouldn't let me back.
Should not stay there.
That's some tough love. Okay.
I would take a picture of you in Mexico and say you again.
You ready for this?
Go ahead, watch out for the ants.
All right. Ants in my pants. Ants. Okay, this is the border. That's it. So there we go, Mexico, United States. If I walk to this little plant here, legally, I'm not allowed back into the United States. I gotta go through Mexico.
Right. The report of entry.
But if we just tow it up to here, I'm still legal.
Still legal.
All right,
As long as you're in the center of the river.
center of the river. Your coworkers at the market were saying in this county, there's only 3 of you patrolling this border.
Today there is because I'm down here with you, but
Yeah.
for the most part there's only one at a time.
For how many miles?
Well, there's 193 miles of border. These guys cover a certain section and the other section's not covered. We've got some cameras and we got some day guys going down there, and some that set off, they respond,
Yeah.
but there's nobody there.
How do you feel about that as a sheriff?
God, man, I wished we had. That's their job. It's the government's job to secure this border. And they don't have the men to do it. They pay them good. The job, I guess, just isn't that glamorous. I don't
So
know what it
people
is.
don't want to sign up for the job?
They're not signing up for it. You know, in this area, it's changing, a little bit changing. But the thing that's changing is our people aren't switching to become Republicans. They're still Democrats. They're just very conservative.
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
And how do they feel about border policy? Most people living around here.
not down here so much, but like in Alpine, they don't want the illegal immigration. I'm talking even our Hispanics. They're saying we don't want illegal immigration. I think they would be just like anybody if you had like we talked about, a port of entry where we could hire people,
Yeah.
come and put people to work legitimately,
Yeah.
pay them a real wage. Don't do them like the old days where they brought them in and paid them $1 a day.
Right.
Pay them a real wage. If we had some help, some people move in. I mean, we need help.
Yeah.
We need help. And if you go to Lubbock or Amarillo, Odessa, Midland, Dallas, if you go into their restaurants and stuff and you go in the back kitchens, that's what's there.
Illegal migrants.
Illegal migrants.
Okay.
You know? But there's no border patrolman there.
Yep.
There's no border patrol, no ICE, no customs there working those restaurants. Down here, and we call ourselves the occupied territory, I own a little ranch on the other side of the park here, and I need fence built and stuff, and if I hired somebody, and if they were illegal, man, my butt would be in jail. But you can go to Odessa, you can go to Houston, and go to Home Depot, and hire any bunch of illegals you want to come dig.
Why can they do it?
Because there's nobody enforcing it. State peace officers have no authority over.
Okay, what about ICE?
Well, is there enough of them?
Okay.
You know, and they have things called job site work enforcement. They have some rules, and they're very constrictive to ICE, and you need to ask them about it. But I understand that I've seen them come in, asking employers, said, "Hey, do you have all your I-99s for all your employees?" And they go, "Yeah, we got them." Well, tomorrow we'll be back
Okay.
to look at them. Well, tomorrow
no.
you come back, there's only 3 guys working there. You know?
Right.
So they basically, it's not the ICE guy's fault. It's the way the government's told them they got to do it.
From what I understand, it doesn't really benefit anyone because, look, I hold nothing against the migrants that come here for a better life. I would do the same thing, right? Like, I'd want to make more money and provide more for my family. But they come in, they're illegal, they get pulled over in 3 years, they could be deported, right?
Exactly.
So they built a family a little bit up here, a life, and then they don't have the stability in this country. We don't, in this country, have the stability of knowing that people are legal or illegal. It benefits nobody.
I've seen guys here 20 years and get pulled over one night for a tail light, you know, up north in Chicago and stuff, and they deport them back here. Well, they don't even have a life here anymore.
Right, that's
you know?
brutal.
And then they're stuck.
Yeah.
And then if they come back, they're aliens, criminal aliens entering the country, you know, re-entries. And they get, I'm telling you, we've more than one time in the last month, we've caught people that that's happened to them, and they speak as good English as you do. You know, they're just stuck. So.
Wow. The simple solution is make an easier legal pathway, but enforce it instead of have this open borders sort of quasi cat and mouse game. And
I wouldn't even start to say, you know, I mean, that's just one of the.
Okay.
I think that's one of the ways to do it. You still got to make sure you're not going to let murderers and rapists and drug dealers in the country.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, you're mixing a culture that's way different than your culture.
Yep.
It's not about race. It's all about culture. Their culture, for example, marrying girls is a lot younger than your culture of marrying girls here.
How young does it go?
Some of them are, 15 years old.
Right.
And if you come over here, and if you're a 35-year-old man with a 15-year-old girl, you're going to jail.
Right, so different values.
There is, and it's
Systems,
a whole different culture. Even amongst our Hispanics in the United States versus the Hispanics in Mexico. Yes, they have heritage, but the culture is so much different.
Right.
And once we learn how to get those cultures together, we'll be all right. We'll get better, but that's where it is.
Yeah, serious ants, huh?
You need some
Here we go. So you were saying you're a big TikToker?
Well, yeah, I don't have a Facebook or anything. I got a little Instagram thing. I can share pictures of my grandson with people and fishing trips. But I believe Facebook probably and social media's done a huge damage to our country.
Yeah.
Because you can get on there and be Facebook tough, talk bad about people, make up lies.
Facebook tough.
Facebook tough.
I like
People
that.
like to be.
Right, so tough until you have to actually deal with the problem.
Yeah.
So a scout car is what exactly?
Like, it'll come down and see where the cops are, what the situation is. They report back. They've got a little cell phone service here. Like I told you, they got a network.
So your partner down here thinks he found a scout?
Yeah, well, we saw it go by, and I thought, but he ran the tag, and it comes back to a town that's fairly close. You got to remember, rooms here are $350, $400 a night. So the vehicle that pulls in here doesn't match something that would come this way.
Okay.
See it over there? So,
What, where the lady just came out?
yeah. She sure is interested in what I'm doing. Hey, did you run this tag?
Down far, run that Camaro, mental distance.
Okay, 10-4. One went inside. She was pretty interested in what I was doing. The other one sitting in the car.
Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna pretend that they're getting a reservation, but I doubt it.
You want me to go check if she's doing it?
The desk will tell us.
Oh.
We not only employ us, but we've got the help of some of the community that help us a lot. Get in the chase within the next 15 minutes so I can come back.
I'll do that. Don't worry. I'll do that.
Height 507 and weight 180 for a fail to appear on a assault class 5. Shows a warrant out of Hector County.
Okay, well, I wasn't going to leave. I was going to carry her back, but if they'll give you something to drive back home with.
10-4, sir.
He's going back to Alpine. He can take her. We don't have to.
So your hunch was right.
Yeah, she's wanted. We didn't catch her smuggling, but we did catch her. She's wanted out of another county. They'll leave this road that we just came off of, and they'll take this. In the middle of the night, it's real great. It's not patrolled. It's hard to be detected on. It's used pretty frequently.
How does the migration route work? Like they go here and then where? Like to Odessa or?
If they get past Interstate 10, they've pretty much got it beat.
Okay.
Because there's no border patrol, there's nothing up in those areas. There's some, but they're very scattered, very, very seldom seen. But once they make it that far, it's like they've got a free reign. And we're talking from here 130 miles. If they can make that 130 miles, they've almost got it licked.
So in this area of Texas, since we're close to the border, they want to get through here as quickly as possible.
Yes, they're
Like,
not
no one's
staying
hanging out around.
No, there's no jobs here. When people talk to me about what's the illegal immigrant problem in my communities, and there's none. We don't have it. They move on. They move on to the towns that have the jobs, the bigger cities.
What's going on here?
So this is a marker. They've marked this trail. It means something to somebody. You know, the way they've stacked the rocks, it means something. And so they know this is the path. They're on the right track where they're supposed to be going.
In a car or by foot here?
In a car. That's why it's so big. A lot of the foot ones will be smaller, and they'll be closer to the trails and stuff.
Okay. So what do you do with these? You just...
I just leave them. Most of the smugglers have quit using them. They know, the coyotes know their path real well already.
Right.
So,
Beautiful country out here. Really gets nice on this road. Do you ever just stay like out here waiting, or it's just too infrequent? You're gonna get a car whenever.
You could sit out here a week, month, nothing happened. The day you leave, they'll all come. You can't predict it. That's why we use the camera system we got now, because it's a whole lot easier.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I don't have to get out of bed for an hour. If I have a camera here and it goes off, picks me a car up, I can get down, catch him up on the highway. There's no sense. Yeah, we're working this thing a whole lot better than we used to.
Okay.
Instead of chasing, we're catching.
So the road goes right into the park.
Yeah, it drives right across the top of the park.
What are we doing back here?
I think I just seen what the buzzards was.
Oh, like something might be dead? Are those turkey vultures? What are those?
They may get on one snake, all of them looking to fight for food, but I don't see no. So there's blood here. That's probably what they've got, something, either a lion or something killed something, drug it up there, and them buzzards are eating it up in that brush.
A lion?
The mountain lions.
Oh, gotcha.
Because there's blood in there, but there's no bones. But you can see a drag. See where it drug it? See
Yeah.
that drag?
Oh, yeah. What's up here, Sheriff?
There used to be a camera there. Looks like somebody stole it.
Whose camera?
Probably a Border Patrol camera.
But a private residence back there, huh?
There's a road that goes back there to a private residence. So.
On a national park?
No, it's not on National Park. You just have to go
Okay.
through the park to get to it.
Gotcha.
There's actually a ranch in the middle of this park over here, the Rosias Ranch. That's the Rosias Mountains. And that ranch is in the middle of the park. There's another couple of places in the park that are like 640 acre spots that actually just belong to private people.
Cameras?
Yep.
one's yours.
Yeah, that's the one I monitor.
You're sitting back in Alpine, which is like an hour away, looking at those cameras.
2 hours away.
2 hours away?
Yeah, there's people back there. The jail's watching it right now. All the cameras, the 100 or so cameras we got out there watching them.
And this, we're coming up on Mexico again, yeah? So there used to be a crossing here.
They used to mine fluorspar across the river there, and all those houses and stuff, you can see where they break all the tin off of them. That's all on the Mexican side. They scavenged it, and they took it and used it for at other places and stuff like that. They shut this down and closed it down. A couple of years ago, we had 2 drunks come full speed and hit this, and they ended up, they knocked that down out here on the banks.
Are there many cameras down here?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, okay. Okay.
Now on this crossing here,
Uh-huh.
we ended up, a lot of times when the Mexican army shows up, it's not many days after that we used to get drug crossings. It was almost like the Mexican army fronted the drugs to come here, you know, and we'd encounter them a lot of times sitting over here. And then 2 or 3 days later after they left, then we'd either catch a big marijuana load or something like that up the road. There's a tad bit of corruption.
So this is one of the popular places, or not so much these days?
Yes, this is very popular.
Say I'm Nicaraguan, Guatemalan, Honduran, whatever. I come up, I make it over, I get caught.
Right.
What happens?
Well, you're going to be processed if you're caught, processed, and then they'll probably give you we'll call it a citation to appear before an administrative judge, and it could be anywhere. Your tickets would say Dallas, Chicago, someplace where they have an opening on a certain date. You may make the date, you may never make the date, but they give you that and then trust you that you're going to show up for that court
What
date.
percentage of people, migrants show up, or it's unknown?
It's it's really unknown.
Okay.
Because sometimes the date could be 18 months. You know?
Okay, so say I'm basically caught, I'm let go, I have a court hearing in 18 months maybe, then what? Like what?
Well, the best thing, what they usually do is, like if we catch someone, we turn over Border Patrol processes them. They then in turn take them to a bigger processing place in El Paso. And at that point in time, a lot of these Catholic relief organizations will come, pick them up, and then further them into the United States to where possibly they have family already and aunts and uncles, and try to move into those areas where these people have somebody that they can live with.
What if they don't have aunts and uncles or family?
I guess they help them establish some kind of place to stay.
So the federal government gives Catholic charities money to deal with that work?
I'd have to say they do something like that, because I don't know unless the Catholics are spending their own money to do it.
Okay, gotcha. So how is traffic right now? Is it the worst ever?
This is the worst we've ever seen it. I guess people have argued, well, it's because you got more people out there and you're catching them. I don't think so. We've just never seen it, this many people coming.
Yeah.
And next week, when the Title 42, we understand that in certain places on the river, there's over 100,000. And then further west of us, there's probably 60 to 80,000 that are going to cross. Let's hope they don't cross all at one time, because I don't know how we.
That's next week?
Yeah. Title 42 disappears.
And Title 42 is basically some COVID.
Well, it's
provision.
basically from the health and safety, and it's, for COVID related. So they wouldn't let them. They have to remain in Mexico type deal. So.
But so many have gotten over it, even despite 42.
Oh yeah, there are lots gotten over 42, and you got to understand when you look at our Facebook page, you look at Border Patrols, and you say, God, look at all the people they caught. Man, that is a small percentage. That's a small. There's a lot that we don't catch.
Thank you, Sheriff, for bringing
No
us
problem.
in, because it's very hard to get access these days.
Well, the people just need to know. I mean, and if you're the guy getting the word out, that's what we need. You know, I mean, it's not all about flying helicopters and getting great stories. It's about what's really happening on the ground.
Okay, guys, a few closing thoughts here. What an amazing experience and window into a world that, well, we're just not really gonna get. And the longer I go into this type of content, I did a border series last year, this is just a one-off video of the border now. But I learned things along the way, and my opinion changes on things. So what I learned today that changed something in me was the wall. When I was in South Texas, a lot of the people I talked to were big proponents of the wall because it enabled the technology to be put in one easy place. It made it much easier for Customs and Border Protection. And talking with the sheriff today, Sheriff Dawson, it's like, the wall here, wow, it would really just pretty much ruin and spoil our area and push the river away from us. Very interesting perspective. So now I'm standing at, well, it really depends where. So with all of my content, watch other content. I don't have all the answers. This is one perspective in. There are many other perspectives in. What I'm trying to do is get an on the ground feel and pulse of these situations. I feel with the media, if you want to watch content on the border, you know, say if you watch Fox, it's going to be pure trigger bait. It's going to create a lot of fear or emotion. And if you want to watch pretty much on all the other mainstream networks, if you want to look at the New York Times or CNN, you're not going to get much of a story at all. It is a very big story. These regions of the country are dealing with something at a scale they've never dealt with before. And the very interesting part too is the migrants coming over are going throughout the whole country. And I think it's a discussion and a conversation we need to have as a country. It shouldn't be a Republican or a Democratic issue. It should be, we have a serious problem and what's the best solution forward with this. All right, guys, thanks for coming along. Hope you got something out of that. I also shot a series about the border last year in South Texas. I'll leave that playlist here on the screen. Until the next one.